Jack Miller's future with Pramac Yamaha is increasingly uncertain beyond the 2026 MotoGP season, with mounting pressure from rival manufacturers and a heated battle with Aprilia threatening the team's long-term rider plans. The Australian rider returned to Pramac at the start of 2025 as the Tuscan squad began a new era as Yamaha's sole satellite team, ending a 21-year association with Ducati machinery. Miller previously raced for Pramac in 2019 and 2020 before spells with Ducati and KTM, and his experience was seen as crucial for Yamaha's rebuilding project. Initially, Yamaha offered Miller a one-year factory contract for the 2025 season after his release from KTM. His performances on the YZR M1 were convincing enough for the Japanese manufacturer to extend his deal for another year in September, securing his place at Pramac for 2026. However, despite that extension, Miller's long-term prospects remain fragile. For 2026, Miller will be partnered by three-time World Superbike champion Toprak Razgatlioglu, who signed a two-year factory Yamaha deal in June. Razgatlioglu is currently the only Yamaha rider contracted beyond 2026, while the deals of Fabio Quartararo and Alex Rins also expire at the end of that season. This places Miller in a vulnerable position, with Yamaha actively reviewing its rider options for the next generation of MotoGP regulations in 2027. Every race result in 2026 could prove decisive. Miller finished the 2025 season with 79 points for Pramac, making him Yamaha's second-best performer behind Quartararo's 201-point tally. Alex Rins collected 68 points for the factory team, while Miguel Oliveira scored 43 for Pramac before his contract was terminated. Despite being a consistent contributor, Miller managed just one top 10 finish in the final 10 rounds of the 2025 campaign, a statistic that has raised concerns within Yamaha's management. Yamaha has been closely monitoring the rider market in case Quartararo departs or if Miller and Rins fail to justify new contracts. One name high on the list is Enea Bastianini. The Italian currently rides for KTM's Tech 3 squad, but his contract expires at the end of this season. Yamaha and Pramac are reportedly keen to secure Bastianini for 2027. Particularly as MotoGP prepares to introduce the new 850cc regulations. Bastianini himself is understood to be interested in switching to the Yamaha M1 at the start of the new technical era, seeing it as an opportunity to reset his career trajectory. However, Yamaha and Pramac are not alone in their pursuit. Aprilia has also revived its long-standing interest in Bastianini, adding another layer of complexity to an already heated transfer battle. The Noale-based manufacturer previously wanted to sign the Italian after Ducati released him in 2024, but instead opted for Jorge Martin and Marco Bezzecchi. With both Martin and Bezzecchi's contracts expiring at the end of 2026, Aprilia is once again exploring its options for 2027, and Bastianini is firmly back on the radar. CEO Massimo Rivola has confirmed that Aprilia is open to renewing Martin's contract, but only if the 2024 world champion can prove his fitness after a 2025 season plagued by injuries. Martin started just 7 of the 8 Grands Prix he entered across 22 rounds, raising questions about his long-term reliability. Meanwhile, Bezzecchi has emerged as a genuine title contender in 2025 and is widely expected to challenge Ducati star Marc Marquez for the 2026 championship under the final year of the 1000cc regulations. Aprilia is expected to prioritize securing Bezzecchi's future. If Aprilia successfully extends both Martin and Bezzecchi, it could strengthen Yamaha and Pramac's chances of signing Bastianini, but at the same time, it would further endanger Miller's position. While Miller remains an important part of Yamaha's development program, particularly as the manufacturer works on its new V4 engine project, performance remains the ultimate currency in MotoGP. Yamaha values Miller's technical feedback and experience, but the lack of strong results in the latter half of 2025 has cast doubt on whether he is the right rider to lead the team into the 2027 era. Complicating matters further is Razgatlioglu's situation. The Turkish star cannot join the factory Yamaha team due to sponsorship conflicts between Red Bull and Monster Energy. This makes Pramac the only viable Yamaha destination for him, increasing internal competition for limited seats. With Quartararo's future also uncertain, Yamaha may be forced into tough decisions that prioritize long-term potential over loyalty. Pramac finds itself caught in a perfect storm of shifting regulations, contract expirations, and aggressive rival interest. The team wants stability heading into the 850cc era, but securing top talent has become increasingly difficult in a hyper-competitive market. For Miller, the message is clear. 2026 is a make-or-break season. Despite being Yamaha's second-best performer in 2025, his results were not strong enough to guarantee security. With Bastianini available, Aprilia circling, and Razgatlioglu already locked in, the pressure on the Australian is immense. Unless Miller can deliver more consistent top 10 finishes and perhaps even podiums, his Pramac seat could be the one sacrificed as Yamaha reshapes its future. In MotoGP, loyalty only lasts as long as the lap times allow. And right now, Jack Miller is racing not just for points, but for his career. Pramac Yamaha is entering a critical phase as uncertainty surrounds Jack Miller's future beyond the 2026 MotoGP season. The Australian rider, who returned to the Italian squad in 2025 during its transition to Yamaha machinery, now faces growing competition for his seat. With major rider contracts expiring across the paddock and new technical regulations approaching in 2027, Pramac's long-term plans are becoming increasingly complex. Miller was initially signed by Yamaha on a one-year factory deal after his departure from KTM, tasked with helping stabilize the YZR M1 project. His performances in 2025 were considered solid enough to earn a contract extension for 2026, but they were not strong enough to remove all doubts. While he proved reliable, his limited top 10 finishes late in the season highlighted the performance gap Yamaha still needs to close. The arrival of Toprak Razgatlioglu for 2026 has further intensified the situation. The three-time world superbike champion is under contract with Yamaha until 2027, making him the brand's only confirmed rider for the new 850cc era. With Fabio Quartararo and Alex Rins also nearing the end of their deals, Yamaha's rider structure remains wide open, and Miller is far from secure.